It's time for Ryan's Roses. Here we go. If it's a public service, if there's an issue in your world, you can't sort it out, come to us and we'll try our best. The email we have, not much to go on, but basically, Dear Ryan and Sissany, my husband's been acting strange, a lot of texting, a lot of private moments to think. I saw that he texted someone just after midnight on New Year's. That was it for me to think he may be cheating, at least emotionally, if not physically. Gabby and Alhambra. So, Gabby, thank you for listening and thank you for leaning on us. We want to get right to it because we understand that he was acting strange, but it is very common that people get Happy New Year's texts at midnight, and maybe he was just responding to one of those texts innocently.
Yeah, no, and I thought about that, but I feel like, first of all, there's like a little bit of an intuition in knowing someone for so long, that there was something a little bit kind of like shady in the way that he did it. Like it was like, well, it felt like secretive, and I was even like, "Oh, what's that?" And he's like, "Oh, nothing." And so it felt hiding, like there was something hiding behind it. So it didn't feel like an innocent, like, "Oh, Jim texted me and I texted him back," you know.
Huh.
So,
and you said he was acting strange before that.
Yeah, like he's just been distant, like more distant. Like when he comes home from work, he just kind of like has just not been very engaging as much as he normally is, and he's like, I just need some time to like decompress, and he'll be going off by himself a little bit more, and it's just not like him, and so it's all right. It's like hard to know.
You know, it's interesting because I keep hearing about more and more people trying to meditate. And so that would be going off by yourself. It doesn't mean that there's something going on, but you might just be, meditating.
But you would share that with your wife and say, "Hey, I'm into meditating now, so I'm going to go meditate."
Yeah.
Like, why?
So shut me down. I'm just trying to play devil's advocate.
No, I'm playing devil's advocate.
Well, I'm playing his other advocate. All right, Gabby, hang on. We'll just make this call to your husband next. But most importantly, the camel and the straw and the camel was on New Year's Eve when he was texting someone after midnight, and she thinks something's up. But she actually thinks that he's messing around. Gabby, do you have a good relationship with your husband otherwise?
Normally, yeah. That's why the change is so noticeable.
Do you have kids?
Yes. I mean, a kid. We have a kid, a child.
All right, Gabby, we're going to call your husband now. And I want you to be very quiet until we tell him he's on the air. Then we'll all speak. But Sisney's going to offer him some roses, and she wants to find out who he's sending them to, right? Like, who's at the top of his head, and then what he writes on the card in terms of the sentiment. So that's really important. Good luck. I need you to say, Ryan, you have my permission to call, and whatever his name is, on Kiss FM. Go ahead.
Okay, Ryan, you have my permission to call on Kiss FM.
Okay, good luck. Here we go.
Okay, thank you.
Hello?
Hi, is this Danny?
Yeah, this is Danny.
Hi, I'm calling from Frida's Flowers. We're a new flower shop here in Alhambra, right on Main Street. The reason I'm calling is because we have a wonderful promotion that I would love to offer you. Do you have a few minutes?
Oh, yeah, I'm probably not interested. Sorry.
But you really will be, because they're absolutely free. It's a dozen roses that you can send to anybody that you'd like. They're free. The promotion is that we hope that you like the flowers and you just promote us to friends and family. That's it. We give away a free dozen red roses every week, and you've been selected to win this week.
Oh, and there's no catch, no.
I don't need any info from you, really. I don't need credit card info, anything like that. Just the name of the person that you'd want to send them to. And we can even put a note on there.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, sure. Did I just give it to you over the phone? Or?
Yep, we can do it right now if you've got just a few moments. So the name?
Sure, yeah. Go ahead and send it to Gabby.
Gabby.
Yeah, and just say, I love you, we're the luckiest.
I love you, we are the luckiest. That's cute.
Yeah. Cool.
Hey, Danny, I need you. Danny, it's Ryan Seacrest. Your voice is being broadcast on the radio. I need you to know that. And Sissany is here with me, and your wife, Gabby, who you just sent the roses to, is on the phone. How are you, Danny?
What? What?
Your wife, Gabby, say hi.
Hey, Danny, it's me.
Hi.
Hi.
What is this?
Well, let me explain. Your wife thinks that you're cheating on her, and she asked us to call you on the air. Is that not true, Gabby?
No, I just didn't. No, honey, I just didn't. You've been just so distant and kind of strange lately. I just was afraid that's why, and so I
can tell you, I'm not. I'm not. I don't know why this is the way you need to ask me.
Hold on.
Ask me in person.
Hold on, everyone. Gabby, you did tell us that you think that something's going on and that he's cheating. I mean, I just read your email. You said that was it for me to think he may be cheating, right?
Yeah.
So let's clear the air. What is it? Danny, hear from your wife what you're doing to make her think those thoughts. Gabby, tell him.
Well, I don't know. It's just been you've been so distant lately, and haven't wanted to talk to me, which is very. You've been I need some private moments. I private time to think, and then on New Year's, I saw that you texted somebody, and I didn't know who the number was, and I know I shouldn't have gone in your phone, but it just I've been kind of out of my mind because I feel like you won't talk to me.
Gabby,
about
that was Gabby. That was my mom. I texted. That's kind of it.
Well, Gabby, how do you feel?
Oh my God, I don't even know. I'm obviously grateful that you still love me and you're not cheating on me. But
it sounds like you guys have a great relationship. You just need to communicate a little bit. That's what I'm hearing here, Danny. So listen, Danny. Here's the thing. You hear the call from your wife, Gabby. You hear your husband and his sentiment and sending you, "I love you. We're the luckiest." So take that and build on it. And good luck to you two. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye. Gabby, she told us at the beginning, I think he's cheating.
I know.
And then we get him on the phone, and she's like, I didn't think that.
And she got a little scared.
Throw us under the bus.
And she got a little scared.
We didn't just make all this up.
I know.
I just want to make sure that she was up front and got what she needed out of the call before she said, I didn't think that. And all of a sudden, she's back in the same place next week.
I think she just has a lot of question marks floating around her head right now.
I like her, and I like him. Mm-hmm. It doesn't sound. I don't know. I don't know what's missing. What's happening there? I think he's cheating. Don't believe this guy. He stuttered. You should have asked more questions. How would she not know the mom's number? Well,
that's where I'm at. Why would he not have the mom's number? But she seemed relieved by it, so maybe she knows more than we do.
I mean, the reason we wrapped up was because he said it was his mom on the phone after midnight on New Year's Eve. And it was her reaction that relieved me. It wasn't what he said. Right. It's what she said and how she said it. She believed it, and she wasn't believing a lot of things until that moment. So there must be something that we're missing. It wasn't what he said. It was what she said that made me think, all right, there's credibility here. But clearly not with Los Angeles.
Of course not.
Good morning. Seacrest, Sissany, Tanya, Patty, everyone is here. Let's revisit quickly this roses topic, and then we'll move on, because I found it very interesting. Now, the gist is they're married. Gabby's husband, Danny, he's been acting strange. On New Year's Eve, when it became midnight, she saw him texting with someone. He says it was my mom. And we moved on. Oh, that's what it was. And we moved on. She reacted in a certain way. Now, it was her reaction that actually made me think he was telling the truth. Then, me being naive, we go to break, we come back, and I look at all the calls coming in saying, why did you let him off the hook?
We should have asked more questions.
Listen to this, and this is what I was going off of.
Gabby, that was my mom. I texted. That's kind of it.
Well, Gabby, how do you feel?
Oh my God, I don't even know. I'm obviously grateful that you still love me and you're not cheating on me.
So I was going off of her energy.
Yeah, I
thinking,
see what you're saying
okay, he's not winding us up. He's not making up a story. It was not what he said. It's what she said.
Yeah.
Stephanie, good morning in Corona. How are you?
I'm good. How are you, Ryan?
Good, thanks. So what's your view?
Well, I don't know how many of you don't have your mom's number programmed into your phone, but I know I do.
Mm-hmm. No, I'm with you. That was my first thought when this happened.
And he couldn't have stuttered more if he tried. And I think she was just caught off guard by his response.
I don't want to defend him, but I will tell you, sometimes I've seen people's phones that do some freaky things and only numbers show up for a second and then it goes back to their names. No, I'm not trying to be funny.
Yeah. That's
I'm just
very rare.
telling you. Well, look, it was midnight. There could have been an overload of text and things happen. Glitches occur. Okay, that's all I'm saying. Stephanie, thank you for calling. We appreciate you listening. Darlene, Monterey Park. Good morning, Darlene.
Good morning.
So, do you understand what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, I totally agree with her too. Like, everybody has their mom's phone number in their phone.
But maybe they don't. Maybe he hasn't talked to his mom in years.
I mean, aren't they together for a long time? She would have had his mom's phone number too.
But let's forget about the phone numbers. Let's just listen to the reaction from her. She seemed content with his response, and that made me believe he's telling the truth.
Almost like she was shocked.
But what it is it's like she's afraid of getting him upset, because when you were talking to her, she was already saying, "Oh, I didn't say you were cheating." Like, that was her response.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
You had to correct her. Like, she was trying to make sure he didn't get upset. Like, she's trying to please him, but at the same time trying to find out if he's cheating, but she doesn't want him to get mad at her. So he needs to be the one apologizing to her for making her feel this way, because obviously other stuff is going on in that relationship.
Well, that's another conversation, right? I mean, there clearly are other things that have gotten her to this place and escalate. Yeah, I think you're right. Thanks for calling. You have a good day. Let's grab Patty in Lancaster. Patty in Lancaster. Hi, Lancaster's Patty. Good morning. You're on the air with us at Kiss FM.
Hello.
Hi. So, what do you think?
Well, I think that people will hear what they want to hear. Right? As soon as he said his mom, she just accepted that answer because that's the safest answer for her, because then she doesn't have to come to terms that maybe he is cheating. So that's what I think.
You don't think there's validity in her calm response. You think that she just heard him say the words she wanted to hear and she didn't want to put up a fight then.
Right, because that's the safest thing to do, just for him to say, "No, I'm not cheating." So, okay, she even said, "I'm so glad that you still love me." Like that was just enough for her, so that she doesn't have to face the facts that he might be cheating.
Interesting.
It's tough. All right, thanks for calling.
Yes.
No, I was just thinking. Sometimes after these roses, I'm completely confused. Like, I think I hear something, and then we take everyone's point of view.
And then it turns. I know. It happens to me all the time.
Then I question. It's like, it is honestly confusing. We are confusing people. We as human beings confuse.
It sounds like this phone call from his mom was a big milestone in his life. So, she sounded very relieved and surprised that he was talking to his mother, almost as if maybe they don't talk. She came out of nowhere, you know?
You mean the text?
No, yeah, the text.
Okay, let me go to Patty. She's usually a good equalizer on this. So, Patty, you've heard it all. You've heard where we are. You've heard the calls.
Well, I am upset with you because you usually ask questions, and you did not this time.
No, because I listened to her. I didn't listen to him. I listened to her. And her response was, "Okay, I'm relieved. Thank you. I'm happy that everything's okay." I listened to her tone, and I took a cue from her tone.
So you didn't want to pry anymore.
Well, I didn't feel like it was my role to fight anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Well, how about this? Why don't we call him back? Or let me try to get him back, and we can get a better explanation from him.
I don't need to talk to him. I'm asking you where you stand.
Well, I don't know, because we didn't get an answer. He just said, "Oh, it was my mom," but okay, she should have known. If it was if it was a mom, she should have known that phone number was coming from the mother.
Unless he doesn't speak to his mom.
See, but I think that's really just thinking like too much.
No, maybe not, because her reaction would indicate what Sissany says. Maybe they don't communicate much, and that was a big thing for her to reach out.
Her reaction gave us nothing other than,
Patty,
I'm relieved that you're not cheating on me.
No, I think her calm tone said more than the words she spoke.
I don't think so.
I think there's many families out there who have relationships with parents or don't have relationships with parents, and maybe they're trying to get in contact with them. It's been years for whatever reason, and this could have been one of those situations.
I agree.
Could have been a mom. It could have been a sister. It could have been a brother.
Christmas.
The holidays, the New Year.
Thanksgiving. People reach out that haven't reached out in a long time sometimes you've had a bad relationship with, and it's nice. And maybe that's what her response was saying.
Both you, Ryan, and Sissany sound like Gabby. Just assuming that everything's okay and just assuming without actual fact. That's how you and Sissany sound right now.
Positive?
Just making an assumption based on no facts.
Why don't you try and get him back? Your idea, try and get him back on the phone and get an explanation.
I will do that.
Patty always gets her way. Patty is trying to get in touch with Danny. I think she's making some progress to find out why it was so significant for him to hear from his mom and why his wife was content with that response, because we're catching a lot of heat. Mm-hmm. Good morning, George and Cudahy. How are you?
I am doing fine, Ryan. Thank you for taking my call.
Of course.
Look, you should have drilled Danny a little more. He was lying when he said his mother, because when you replayed the tape, he was stuttering. Mm-hmm. And Gabby, like others have said, did not want to face the music that her husband could be cheating. Right away, she started going off that, he still loves me, he still loves me. Danny never said he loved her. She wants to hear that, and I feel bad for her, because it's that type of young lady that gets cheated on and doesn't see it.
It's interesting. He did not say, I love you.
No, he did not.
Yeah.
But Gabby's going on and on. Oh, you still love me. No, he didn't say that. And he stuttered when he said his mother. And yes, she does sound like she's afraid of him. But something's up there with Danny. And I feel bad for Gabby. But she needs to wake up.
All right. Valerie, who listens to us in Arizona. Valerie, good morning.
Good morning.
How you doing?
I'm doing great.
Good. So what's happening?
I receive your guys' Ryan's Roses by Snapchat. One of my friends snaps me all your guys' Ryan's Roses. The only thing I miss about California. And he is definitely cheating.
You think he's cheating?
Midnight, only text, and let me not tell you, no.
Okay. All right. Well, let me.
Interesting. He didn't tell her.
Thank you for listening across the borders. We will. I think we will get him here. Patty, is it right that Danny's online too?
Yeah, he's willing to tell us everything.
All right. So this is good. Now, remember, here is the real point of impact. He sent the roses to his wife. And she was concerned because he was texting someone just after midnight on New Year's Eve. She was very concerned. He had been acting strange lately.
Yep.
And then we let him off the hook because, at least I did, because I was taking a cue from her response to his answer. Listen.
Gabby, that was my mom. I texted. That's kind of it.
Well, Gabby, how do you feel?
I'm like, I don't even know. I'm obviously grateful that you still love me and you're not cheating on me.
She accepted it in a way that made me think, okay, maybe there's something we don't know, or he's being honest. But apparently, the entire nation disagrees. So Danny is on the phone. When I say nation, I mean like the 818. So, Danny, thank you for coming back on. Are you there?
I am. Yeah. Can you hear me?
I can. We're curious, obviously, to know. Your wife was concerned about you cheating on her. She said you were on your phone texting somebody, didn't recognize the number apparently after midnight on New Year's Eve. You said it was your mom. You did stutter. I will admit you did stutter a little bit, so it could have sounded like you were trying to cover your tracks. But then she accepted it in such a way that I believed you, and apparently I am wrong. So can you explain to us, was there significance in all of this?
Yeah, there was. We talked about it last night, and I'm actually feeling so much better. So much so that I think actually the best thing I can do right now is to actually talk openly about it. And so that's why I thought it would be a good idea to get on here and explain it to you and fellow
I'm
listeners.
confused.
I'm also a listener.
Okay, I'm confused by that. So tell me what you mean.
Well, okay. So when I was a teenager, my father passed away, and it made life pretty hard. I was only 16, and I said some things that I really, really regret. And it was hard, and I ended up actually leaving home. I ran away, and just moved in with a friend of mine who was awesome, but I completely severed all connections with my mom, and it's something that I've thought about so many times since, but I never really had the courage to try to rekindle that relationship. And it was, when Gabby and I had our son, and she was spending time with Gabby's mother, and when he would ask, where's your mom? And I had no answer. There was no grandma for him on my side, and that's when I realized that I needed to do something, and that was the same time that my mom actually reached out to me on Facebook, and we started a conversation, which then became texting, and I actually got an opportunity to apologize this year. And so the message that I sent to her on New Year's Eve was actually just, I'm glad that I know you again in 2017, and I hope to know you more in 2018.
Wow.
Yeah.
Are you okay?
Yeah.
It's a lot.
It's hard to say all that out loud.
Yeah, I bet.
And so would be why your wife, when you said that, instantly accepted it. I'm guessing.
Yeah.
I mean,
She knew the history.
All right. Well,
some of it. I mean, as much as I would admit to
Danny,
anyone.
let me ask you a quick question, and thank you, by the way, for your candor and coming on. But what do you hope happens from here with your mom?
I just really hope that I have her back in my life, and she's grown up. I've grown up so much more, and I feel like we're at a mature place where we can talk about our past with an idea of moving forward, and without just being buried in regret.
And life is short.
Decisions.
Life is short.
Yeah,
it's short, and that kind of any regret or resentment eats you up on the inside, which takes time away from your time on this planet, and it's just not worth it. It sounds like you're taking a step in the right direction. Well, Danny, thanks for coming on, and good luck to you, okay?
Absolutely. Thank you.
All right, take care. Bye.
Bye.
All right, take care. Bye.
Wow.
I have to say, I like Danny.
Yeah. Is that what you're saying? Okay.
That's all. I think that was pretty clear what he was trying to accomplish there.
Yeah, you were right with her reaction, because she definitely accepted the fact that he was texting his mom.
But Patty still doesn't believe him.
Come on, Patty.
I believe him, and Sissany, you were right. Your assumption was right.
Well,
So
I
like
have three brains right now, you guys.
Like
so
they say,
I can't take all the credit.
Never assume unless you're right. So after all of that, I believe Danny. Sissany, I think you believe Danny.
I do believe Danny.
Tanya, we know, doesn't believe Danny.
No.
Does America believe Danny? Candy, very quickly, do you believe Danny?
Yes, I do.
Okay, let's leave it at that. Let's leave it at that, because no one did earlier.